All right, in question 10, it says, the region R shown shaded in figure 2 is bounded by the curve with equation y equals x square plus 1 and the curve with equation x square plus y square equals 11. So that means they're talking about this part which is bounded by this graph and this graph. So we can see this graph is on top from R's perspective, and y equals x square plus 1 is on the bottom from R's perspective. Now, the two curve intersects at the point A and B. We can see A and B over here. Find the x coordinate of the point A and the x coordinate of the point B. When we want to find the point of intersection of between two curves, we have to use simultaneous equation. When we substitute x square, let's say this one is equation 1 and this one is equation 2. So when we substitute the value of x square from equation 1, we have x square plus 1 equals y. So x square equals y minus 1. Now, instead of this x square, we can just substitute the y minus 1 over here. So when we substitute that, we will have a combined equation. So you can see you have y minus 1 over here plus y square equals 11. So instead of x square, they have written y minus 1 over here and then y square and then 11. So when we arrange this equation, we can find y square plus y minus 12. Now, after using middle term, we can finally get the answer for y, which is going to be y equals 3 and y equals minus 4. When we substitute the value of y as 3 and minus 4 into any of the equation, maybe we can substitute it over here instead of y. So we can get x square equals 2 and x square equals minus 5. Now, when we have x square equals 2 and x square equals minus 5, when we try to find the value of x equals, when I transfer this square to the other side, it becomes square root. And square root of 2, there can be two possible answers. One is plus square root of 2, the other one is negative square root of 2. Now, with the other one, when we have x square root of minus 5, when I transfer square to the other side, it becomes square root of negative 5. So when you use a calculator, you will find no answer over here. So that means we'll end up getting two values of x, that is square root of 2 and negative square root of 2. So we can see that the value of a is square root of 2 and negative square root of 2. We have finally found the x coordinate of a and b. So the right hand side, the coordinate of b will be 2 and the coordinate of a will be negative 2. So we have to properly mention that the coordinate of x is negative 2, a is negative 2, and the coordinate of b is positive 2, because you can see from the graph that positive side should be on the right hand side, which is the coordinate of b. So if you mention that properly, you will get definitely 1 mark for accuracy. Let's move to the next question now. The region R is rotated through 360 about the x-axis. That means region R will be rotating through x-axis. So when it will be rotated from the x-axis, it will form a 3D shape. So use algebraic integration to find the volume of the solid generated. To find the volume when this part is rotated through x-axis, then we have to use this formula, pi integration of y square, where we have to use two limits of x. The larger one will be on top and the smaller one will be on the bottom. Over here, as we can see that we have two equations, not one here. One is on top, one is on bottom. So we have to use this formula. The top one, we have to write it first. Top equation, we have to square it, and then I can say yt, y top, and then I will write yb, y bottom. The bottom squared will be subtracted from the top one, and then we'll put two limits over here. The limits over here will be x coordinate of B, and this one will be x coordinate of A. Why x coordinate of B? Because B is the greater one and A is the smaller one. So over here, the greater one will be on top and the smaller one will be on the bottom. And I also have to put a pi over here, and finally dx. The equation which is on top is the equation of the circle. So from here, we can simply subject y square. And when you subject y square, you get 11 minus x square. So instead of y square, we can just simply write 11 minus x square. Then I will put the negative sign over here, as you can see. And then I will have to write the equation which is on bottom. So over here, the bottom one is the quadratic equation over here. So I will just write the quadratic equation. So I will write x square plus 1 over here. And as I've mentioned, that you have to put a square over here. So they have also put a square over here. Now, as I was talking about the limit, so on top, you have to put the x coordinate of B, which is square root of 2. And on the bottom, you have to put the x coordinate of A, the intersection point, which is negative square root of 2. So you're going to write negative square root of 2 here as a limit. And you also have to put a pi over here. So now my formula is ready, and I just need to solve it. How can we solve it? Let's expand now. We have 11 minus x square minus, we have to solve it using a plus b whole squares formula. The formula is a square, which is going to be a to the power x to the power 4 plus twice ab. So twice x square plus b square, which is 1. Now, as there is a negative before the bracket, so all the sign inside the bracket will change. So 11 minus x square minus x to the power 4 minus twice x square minus 1. Now, we have, when we simplify, we have only 1 negative x to the power 4 minus x square minus twice x square will become minus thrice x square, and plus 11 minus 11 minus 1 will become 10. Now, after simplifying this equation, what we have to do, we have to start integrating now. So the process of integration is opposite of differentiation. So to integrate, we have to add 1 with the power. So we had 4 over here. When we add 1, we get 5. So we can just write 5 over here. And then we have to divide the power again. So negative x to the power 5 divided by 5. Then negative 3x to the power, instead of 2, I'm going to write 3 divided by 3. Plus, as there is nothing, so we will add 1 x, we'll multiply that with 10. So my integration is done. We can get rid of this 3. And again, after the integration process is done, we have to put a third bracket, and then we'll put square root of 2 and negative square root of 2 to the right hand side, and the pi will be as it is. From here, what we have to do is we have to substitute the value of value which is on top to all the in terms of all the x. So we have to substitute square root of 2 into all of the x, finally get the value, get the result, and then subtract that result from after substituting the value of negative square root of 2 into that equation. So in short, we have to subtract the substituted value of the bottom from the substituted value from the top. So you can see after simplification, they have finally substituted. You can see from here that square root of 2, they have substituted that one over here. They have put a subtraction sign, and then they have put negative of square root of 2 and substituted into the same equation. And finally, using calculator, they have finally found the value of the area of the volume, that is 63.98.